Automation, far from being a vision of some sci-fi future, is actually just at our doorsteps. Within the next few years, decades, and even centuries, humanity will see robots and machines slowly becoming a larger and larger part of production. It's a pretty controversial topic, but why? First of all, what is automation? In its most basic definition, it's the introduction of a machine that will do labor that previously required a human being. All the complex drilling, lifting, cutting, manipulating, putting together, and much more that used to take anywhere from 1 worker to 100 workers now requires just a set of machines, finely tuned, doing what needs to be done perfectly. So why the controversy? Automation is a brilliant process which reduces the amount of work everyone does and causes productivity to skyrocket. Where's the problem? Well, the problem, as is commonplace nowadays, is capitalism. Let me explain. A capitalist will automate a factory, and through doing this, he will see productivity rise and his long-term costs go down, as he will fire the workers now made redundant due to the introduction of these new machines. These workers that have now become a liability for the capitalist are let go, as the capitalist has no need to pay wages, provide paid maternity leave, vacation time, sick days, etc., since robots don't get pregnant or need vacations. At least, not yet. The sheer amount of jobs that will be lost is staggering. Truck drivers, who occupy millions of jobs in the United States alone, will all lose their jobs due to the advent of self-driving cars. Cashiers, clerks, receptionists, and anyone working behind a stand or counter of any sort will lose their employment to computers. Even doctors, architects, and engineers might eventually be slowly weeded out by this electric menace. This eventually spells a problem for capitalism that the capitalists don't foresee. They're known for their lack of foresight, after all. These capitalists that now produce much more for much less because of automation won't actually be able to sell their products. All these out-of-job workers won't have the money to buy any of the products the capitalists are churning out, and voila, one of the many contradictions of capitalism unfolds. Some may say that a universal basic income is the solution to this crisis, but Bad Mouse Productions has already made a great video discussing this, so I won't go into it. It can be found in the description. Automation. Such a beautiful, amazing thing is rendered not only frightening, but downright destructive because of the nature of capitalism. But what if there was an alternative? An alternative that is spoken of a lot but rarely understood. Socialism. Rather than having machines put large swaths of the population out of work due to the anarchy of capitalism, under socialism these machines would be used as intended, to reduce the amount of work we all need to do without dropping people from the workforce, as a planned restructuring of production can take place, opening up new avenues for employing those whose work has become automated. Rather than working 8, 10, 12, 14-hour days, people can work 2, 3, or 4-hour days and have the machinery carry all the heavy workload, so to speak. Under socialism, the workers will control the implementation of automation, unlike under capitalism where capital does. Automation will be made to serve the interests of humanity rather than profit. Eventually, with automation becoming near universal, human beings would be freed from work in its conventional form. Instead of being an appendage of the machine, human beings would now have the work of designing and maintaining machines, a form of work that is much more versatile and requires education and creativity. On top of this, human beings will be able to devote time to their own creative development, to their leisure, allowing for everyone to maximize their creative potential for creation of art, or invention, or entertainment. Under socialism, we will produce for human needs rather than profit. Automation, instead of being a destructive force in society, will be wielded for the liberation of mankind.